Let's talk about some quality of life I would like to see in Element Fission sometime in the near future. Again, I don't think there's a ton of issues with the game, but there is some stuff that I think would be pretty convenient to have in the game. So one of them we talk about a bit in my Discord, and I imagine it's a little bit of a point of contention for most. But when you farm campaign and you do the 20 bombs, when it's over, no one's keeping anything from. No one's even looking at the gear, right? You could probably even do away with it. Like have an option to just automatically convert it into silver. But having to click, we all just kind of spam click bottom right of the screen 20 times to make it go through. Just give us a quick sale, or honestly, give us a setting in here, might even be better, where you can just toggle to like convert it to gold automatically. I might have said silver a second ago, but convert it to gold so that there is no gear. You literally just get the gold for whatever would have dropped. I think that would be pretty handy. And I think it's a pretty obvious one, kind of a glaring one right now. I imagine I would expect them to do that sometime in the very near future. Based on what we've seen from them so far, they've been pretty good about, adding a little quality of life and making some changes based on feedback. And I would not be surprised to see that get changed in the next couple of updates, honestly. They haven't said anything to me about it, but I just feel like they will. I'm pretty optimistic. Have a good amount of faith in them at this point. So that's the first one. The second one we talked about when I did the gear cleanse video, but from this screen, it would be really nice if there was a toggle for equipped gear, because I just need a better bird's eye view of what I've got, and I like the expanded version of this, but unfortunately, in its current stage, I feel like this gives me way more to work with, but I'm losing so much space and it feels a little crammed. It would be really nice in the inventory page if I could just toggle and see what I have equipped on people as well, so that I just, again, can get a better bird's eye view of what I got. Because as I go through, if I want to go through and do my Swift and I want to start figuring out what all my slot 1 Swift gears are that have speed on them, these are the ones I have that aren't equipped. But I've certainly got several equipped. I need to see what I've got. I need to be able to see what the best in slot is. I need to be able to do that. And I feel like, again, it's a little crammed in the champ screen. And sometimes I would like to be able to see it a little better. So again, another quick one, another easy one that I don't see any reason they wouldn't add it. One that I know is a point of contention is the option to turn off these notifications in chat. It's guild chat history already doesn't go very far, but then you look at this, it's all notifications, which I guess I don't have a problem with these, but the gear, particularly the gear, I kind of think it's fun to see when people pull something, right? When people pull an at 5, I think that's fun to see. I really think it's just the gear power-ups that's the problem. I think if you could toggle on and off gear power-ups specifically, that would be really nice. I also don't even know that I think it's a necessary thing to have to begin with. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we can share a piece of gear. Maybe not. Maybe not unless it's on someone. But maybe just add the option to share a piece of gear instead of letting us know every time somebody levels one up, because it's frequent. Happens a lot, right? So I don't know. It's the option to turn off the notifications, I think, is the easy solution to that issue. Another one, I think this kind of follows the blueprint. It's kind of standard at this point to have the possibility of a 3-star unit dropping from a campaign stage. And I like the idea of having specific units potentially drop from specific stages, especially the useful ones, right? If you give us the direct access to a handful of the units, which you do, to be fair, give us a lot of them through missions for just like checking the strategy info for a dungeon, and you get some pretty nice stuff with the missions. But it would be nice, especially for the free-to-play players, to be able to come in here and farm their 3-star skill ups. Because someone like me, who does quite a bit of summoning, because I've spent a decent amount on summons, I don't have too much of an issue skilling up 3 stars. But if I was free to play, especially once the early game summons run out, which we've talked a little bit about. Once those run out, it's very infrequent. You will not be doing a lot of summoning after that initial early phase where the game is giving you a lot of summons, and you might not have gotten enough of what you need to skill up all your 3 stars. And skill ups are kind of tough, right? We've talked about the 4 and 5 star skill ups in this game as well. Particularly the 4-star ones feel very, very scarce. So I don't know. I think that's pretty nice. And maybe add some units that you don't give us from the missions, because there's plenty of good 3-star units to get. So maybe add a couple more of them in the campaign. And then I think the last one we'll talk about in this video, excuse me, is from the Strengthen tab. I would really like to be able to access my storage. I think letting me access my storage from here would be really, really handy. Because as it stands right now, when I decide I want to build someone, I have to come in here and like pull a bunch of them out, which is not a huge deal. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just the minor quality of life things that like will stack and add up over time that really start to make the game feel like everything flows really smoothly and make it less likely anybody will have any issues. And I think just being able to, if I'm going through and I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I wanted to build my water dome fighter. If I could just tick a thing to show me all the ones I have in storage as well, with maybe a little indicator of like what their IV is. Maybe an option to toggle on and off like what their IVs look like, just so I can get a good look at that as well. I feel like we could do quite a bit more in the Strengthen tab. I appreciate the flow of making food and stuff. I think there's a lot of really great things about this, but I also think there are a few things that could be implemented that would make it even better. And I think the option to add units directly from storage would be very, very useful for that. So that's going to do it for me for this one. Kind of a short one. I just thought it would be nice to talk about a little bit of the quality of life I would like to see in the game. I don't know what their plans are. Again, I haven't seen a roadmap, and they haven't said a lot specifically to me about what the plans are. But again, I have a good bit of faith in them at this point. I like a lot of what they're doing. I'm pretty optimistic about where things are headed. So what do you think about the things we talked about in this video? And then what are some things that you feel like need to be implemented that I haven't talked about in this video? Because I know there's still a lot more to discuss, but I don't want to try to cover every single one of them. And I am interested in hearing from you guys about what kinds of quality of life you think should be added to the game, whether it's something you've seen in other games that you really appreciated that you would like to see in this one, or just an idea that you have that maybe you've never seen in one of these games, because I'm sure there's quite a bit of that going around too. There's always stuff to improve upon, I reckon. So it'll be interesting to hear the feedback from you guys on what you think the game could stand to have added to it. So that's it. I'm getting out of here. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a good one. Looking forward to the feedback on this one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.